I think it comes down to the question of like, what are your strengths? What are you good at? And how to best apply yourself.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. But also sometimes you maybe need other people around you that give you input or ideas or you can work with. For example, you met the guy Eric, you get new ideas, you maybe see strong points in yourself that he mentions and that you never saw before. So
Mm.
I want to avoid to quickly rush into this.
Yeah.
And maybe I'm now expanding my network a little and I'm planning to move to Dubai. That's the plan to change my environment. And then from there, maybe new opportunities will arise as well. And then you can also fully jump in. So I don't want to rush this because in the past I've had a couple of these moments that I had like fewer things to do. And I would always rush into something new to keep myself
Yeah.
occupied, you know? And
Yeah.
then a couple weeks later, you're not busy working on it anymore. Then I'm like, yeah, what's the use of it, you know? So then I
Yeah.
rather take a step back and yeah, choose the right vehicle.
I think that's a pretty mature thought, to be honest, when you don't act on your impulses, but rather you are able to be still and to first observe your thoughts, and think through the opportunities and the problems that you want to solve, because
Yeah.
you can do a lot of solving beforehand in your own head, if you did the work required for that.
Yeah, exactly. But it came with like I have worked on so many shit already. So it's also not that I was always like this. But
Yes.
it's more like in the end, I don't think like if you reach a certain years of entrepreneurship, same with you, like you have the basics of how a funnel works, of building a Shopify website, building a YouTube channel, hiring people. You basically have all the soft skills to
Mm.
build something, to build a company. So that's not it. Like information wise, you know everything already. You just need the right timing, meet the right people, get the right idea, and then also the motivation and the will to work on it, and then it will start rolling of itself. Like the trap I fell into a couple of times is also like consuming a lot of information, seeing
Yeah.
many people on YouTube, on Twitter, sharing what they do, their journey, and of course they present it in a way that's really. Oh, I also want that. Like the grass is always greener, you know.
Yeah.
Uh, but then, yeah, I forgot my train of thought. But like then, yeah, I forgot what I wanted to say. But the thing is, yeah, you want to avoid that as well. Oh yeah, I know, I remember again. Like consuming so much information doesn't help you as well taking the next action because it can actually make you more confused.
Yeah.
Because yeah, you just need to maybe look inward, see what you want, and then apply the knowledge you already built up the last couple of years, and then it will work out probably. So yeah, taking
Yeah.
a little break.
I like that. I like that. And what came up now to my head is, you know, luck is when preparation meets opportunity.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
opportunities are few. And people say, like Charlie Munger and Warren Buffett, that you only need a couple of opportunities in your life, right?
Yeah,
So the bulk of your time needs to be spent preparing for when an opportunity does come up. Whether you meet someone who has an idea and he's looking for a person like you who has a strength, right? That's, for example, what um, is happening in my life at the moment. Together with this person that I met, Eric, right? He had a great idea, and he was looking for someone kind of with my skill set, right, with my strengths to execute on this idea. So now we're together in business, and we're working towards that. So we'll see how that plays out. But the bulk of time, right, needs to be spent preparing, right, and the best preparation you can do is by, well, training your mind and training your body, right? You want to stay in good physical shape so that you know you can actually enjoy the life, and you can enjoy the proceeds that you get rewarded for your work, right? But you also want to train your mind. A lot of people never even consider that, right? People go through life kind of half dead or half asleep. They just use the same knowledge that they've acquired through school or through university, and then once they finish university they never open a book, right? And so it's important to, it's kind of like, if you're trying to cut down a tree and you're using a saw, right, and the saw you're using is super dull, right? And then I'm gonna take a saw, right? I'm gonna first sharpen it really, really sharp, and then I will do it. Well, my
Yeah.
efficiency for every time I do it, right? It's like Warren talks about Charlie. And by the way, I'm obsessed with like Warren Buffett and Charlie Munger. They had an annual meeting recently. I was like watching the replays and all that. But Warren was talking about that Charlie can think through a problem before you even finished reading the sentence. So for example, if I present you with a business problem or an opportunity, right? You will need to think, okay, well, is this worth pursuing, for example? And then you need to go back and forth and, invert the problem and think, okay, what can go wrong? What are the opportunities, right? The SWOT analysis. There's so many things, right? Thinking from all the different perspectives. Well, the sharper your mind is, the more diverse your thinking is, the better you can think through the problems, And there's a very interesting, this book.
It's a big book.
It's called Poor Charlie's Almanac. It's The Wit and Wisdom of Charles T. Munger. And he presents here a case of a $2 trillion company, and he kind of, and he talks about Coca-Cola, which by the way is right there. And he talks about Coca-Cola, how if you were presented like an opportunity to go into business and your initial investment was 2 million, and the challenge would be to turn that 2 million into 2 trillion, how would you think through it? I highly, highly, highly recommend you guys get the book on Audible, Poor Charlie's Almanac, or you can get the physical copy as well. And yeah, it's like my this book is like almost always on my table, right next to my computer. So I always go
It looks
back and I
nice as
always
well.
yeah, it's a really nice book. But what's even better is what's
Yeah, but it's
inside.
good. Yeah, of course.